Captain's log, personal log, subdate 200424.7. Would now be a good time to buy stocks in Abstergo? I just really want to buy an Animus, a hidden blade, and an apple to control all of humanity. Welcome everyone to This Week at Twitter number 4. Yes, we're still doing this. Before we start, my sister has very kindly made some more plushes. I've put them on the Etsy, and if you would like to support what my sister has done, yes, all the money goes to her, minus the postage, I pay for that. Please consider purchasing one. Link to the Etsy store in the description down below. Today we have 7 worthwhile subjects to address and a guest spot. So first we're going to go with Star Wars, because they tweeted out this article, and this article led to something quite interesting, and it was the references to Palpatine learning how to clone inorganic. Right. There are already more holes in the plot of Star Wars in its current form than there were in the original Playboy Advent calendars. At this point, I'm inclined to believe those that wrote the story were possibly high on Pez, laced with gunpowder. Might I recommend, for the sake of your future as writers, directors, and whatever else it is you do within franchise movies that you want to absolutely dump on, you don't waste our time trying to rewrite your own history to justify the mistakes you made. Cloning inorganic. Right. Yes, that's an interesting plot hole. A very interesting plot hole, indeed. Yes. As if it wasn't enough that you managed to have Palpatine clone an incredibly powerful, Force-sensitive user when it was already established that you couldn't clone the Force. I can sense the word genius omitted from the entire Star Wars franchise. Current year, of course. Next. With a lot of YouTubers, they require support from their audience, not just in views or watching ads, something which I'm fairly apathetic towards, but also through things like Patreon, Teespring, TeePublic, Redbubble, and so on. Some people want to use those same platforms to send a powerful message, and with that spirit in mind, I want to take the word abortion and take 2 letters from it to save a life, and place that on a t-shirt by taking out 2 of the letters from it, let's say the B and the T, basically trash, and replace it with a D and a P. And yes, you are correct, the word is now Adorpian. This was taken from Boomer Facebook, or just Facebook, and is genuinely a t-shirt with the slogan, "Adoption, not abortion. 2 letters can save a life." But as you can clearly see, that's not what the t-shirt says. Does someone know how to spell? Should we now go to the guest spot? Let's go to the guest spot. Take it away, Lord Bear.
Well, hello, subscribers of the Blue Phallic Monster. I have returned as per Omegon's request to bring you some madness from Twitter. And I tell thee, sir, have I got some colourful characters for you. But first, take off your shoes, you smelly, dirty, incorrigible delinquents. This is my house, and you're staining the carpet with your poorness. It leaves a mark, you know, and the smell! Ugh! Anyway, what if I told you that on Twitter lurked a community of... And seriously, listen into this, everyone. A community of Ted Bundy stans. And not just that, Columbine stans and multiple other Uber fans of absolute lunatics. Seriously! Ever since the Netflix adaptation of Ted Bundy's former wife's memoirs, they haven't stopped. #TedNation. I mean, I almost understand the Ted Bundy fascination, but Columbine? Edgy neckbeard types. Really? Really? You like the black trench coat, bowl haircut, and acne look, do you? Creatures! So let's have a look at some of these tweets then. Do you notice this person's @handle? See, now this is why we can't have nice things, you know, and not only that, but social media has allowed a generation of nutters to condone this kind of thing. I mean, I appreciate a lady with daddy issues, but this might be taking it over the edge somewhat. Bundy's babies, good grief. Choke me, daddy. Well, if you insist, madam, I'm missing him today. I wish you were here, Ted. Crying face. We know you're innocent. Now, ladies and gents, I have no doubt that there are, of course, some trolls pretending just to garner some attention, but there are just too many of these nutbags for some of them to not be real. And this third tweet had a video underneath of Christ on the cross, by the way. The way that the world just comes after us Bundy / Ramirez / Dharma stands, meanwhile Manson stands are celebrated all over the media, given interviews and even had the chance to meet their idol. But it's okay because we suffer for him, with him. Imagine for a moment that you heard someone in the street mutter this. It would be your civic duty to commit them to some sort of asylum, or at least push them into a deep muddy puddle. Imagine being jealous of the people who got to meet Manson. Oh, also, apparently, there is a slur that only the TED stands are allowed to use. The dreaded E-word. Electric chair. Seriously, look it up, guys. It's amazing. In fact, if you go and take a gander at the hashtag, you'll notice these stands absolutely despise K-pop stannies for some reason, along with goths too. Not sure why they engage in such petty squabbles, but it is entertaining. And there are Columbine stands too, but I believe most of them were or are on Twitter. And I'm not going there. I just can't do that to myself. No chance, mateys. But that's enough from me. I'm sure Omegon's subscribers have better things to do than listen to me, like purchasing Omegon's plushies, for example. Alex has 2 and little baby bear plushies. So cute! Anyway, stop standing monsters, you animals. Thanks for having me, Omegon. Cheerio!
When I come to power, I'm torn between making him one of my ministers and having him shot. Tough choice. To move on from all of that, I want to talk about Tom Moore and Sam Smith. Tom Moore we talked about on this channel on Monday, raising over £25 million, an astonishing amount, for doing something as simple as walking around his garden for a certain number of laps, but he did it selflessly. Others have also pointed out the celebrities. Now, I have ragged on certain celebrities who compared living in a mansion to that of a prison. Ellen DeGeneres, you are it. But others have also taken to then dumping on someone like Sam Smith. Now, I will say, while I do think it is a tad pathetic to complain to your fans while you yourself are within a mansion, when others then denigrate the mental health via Twitter of those who are stuck in isolation under the guise of them being an attention seeker and therefore no longer as valid as everyone else, you yourself, the person who is criticizing their mental health, don't have much of a leg to stand on, and only look bad, and then by extension because you're championing one and not the other, you come across as a bit of a dick. And to continue with that same thread, people referencing the passing of someone who was famous to rag on others who are attacking somebody who is quite mentally fragile right now, which would be Sam Smith. But the person who themselves is criticizing those attacking Sam Smith themselves has been caught off abusing celebrities in the past, which then brings to question whether or not you yourself have much of a leg to stand on when it comes to saying such things. Hashtag be kind. Yes, quite an interesting stance to take. If your intention is to be kind, might I recommend you be consistent as well. Next, the United Kingdom is currently under lockdown, meaning people cannot, for the most part, be outside too long without getting into some trouble. Daily exercise, yes. Essential key workers, of course. Naturally, there are a number of occupations and people who are, by extension of their own issues, stuck inside for extended periods of time, and that sucks. What we don't need to see to help with that is London yet again proving it doesn't quite understand the point of the word lockdown when they decide to gather on Westminster Bridge to applaud the key workers like the NHS, with the police, ambulances, fire trucks also parking on that bridge, therefore creating a large gathering of people, as you can see in this picture, to applaud them. This was on Twitter under the Westminster Bridge tag. It was trending for quite some time in the United Kingdom, and I found it to be quite irritating, which also continued on with another issue that has arisen. The issue being that many NHS staff, because they were meant to do other types of operations, have nothing to do. So for the sake of morale, they have taken to dancing in the empty wards. Now I can see two sides to this. I can see the side where people are irritated that they're not doing something related to COVID-19, also irritated because they're not doing what they're supposed to have done, but also understand that they need to boost morale in some manner. Two sides to a coin, I can see both of them quite clearly, and I'm undecided which one I prefer. I still find these videos to be quite irritating, because you have a damn job to do and applauding something, to me, just makes you look like the king of empty gestures. Next. Last week, CNN put out an article courtesy of a tweet claiming that 3 weeks after Tesla CEO Elon Musk said he had obtained more than 1,000 ventilators to help California hospitals treating patients infected with the coronavirus, the governor's office say none of the promised ventilators have been received by hospitals. To which Elon Musk replied, "What I find most surprising is that CNN exists." The damning part about this is firstly that they all thought he was donating a certain type of ventilator when actually he'd already made it clear it was BPAP and CPAP. Was it BiPAP? You know what I mean. Those which are usually treated for like apnea were being used by hospitals to treat coronavirus patients as well. And many of those hospitals had in fact been tweeting out pictures of them receiving the very things he had promised. Many had pounced on it and said, "But this isn't a ventilator." They're using it. Everyone's been using it. It is a type, and they are functional. He has kept his word, so CNN, you are fake news. And I'm really sick of YouTube promoting you. It is tragic at this point. Now, it turns out for this video, I had actually found several more things that I could use in this video to continue on, but I don't have the time today, sadly. So I'm going to do one more. Won't somebody please think of the children?